Cloud computing. Everyone says it's the future of tech. Every job you're listening, they mention it. Every company is moving into the cloud. But here is the honest truth. Most people who hear the words cloud computing still have absolutely no idea what it actually means, what cloud engineers actually do all day, or whether a cloud career is actually the right move for them. That ends today. I'm going to break down cloud computing as a career, from what it actually is, to which platform to choose, to how much you can realistically earn, to how to land your first cloud job, and how to build a business around it. All of it in the plainest possible English. Welcome back to Chykes Academy. I'm Chykes, and this is the channel where we break down IT careers, courses, and certifications in the simplest possible language. No confusion, just plain English conversation about how to break into tech, build a career you love, and create a real income around your skills. Now, if you have been following along with this series, you already know we have covered cybersecurity, where to start with zero experience, comparing A+, and the complete IT certification roadmap. Today, we are doing a dedicated deep dive on cloud computing as a career path, and I'm covering it in the same way I cover every IT part on this channel, not just the technical stuff, but the complete picture. What cloud computing actually is, whether it's genuinely right for you, what you can realistically earn at each stage, how to get your first cloud job, and one that most IT channels never touch, how to build an actual freelance or consulting business around cloud skills. By the end of this video, you will know exactly whether cloud is your path or whether you should be looking elsewhere. Let's go. Let's start at the very beginning. What is cloud computing? Same format as always, 3 layers of explanation. Each one is a little more detailed than the last. I will explain layer 1 in one sentence. And in one sentence, cloud computing is using someone else's computers over the internet instead of buying and running your own. That is it. Just one sentence. Layer 2 is slightly more detailed, so listen very carefully. Think about what happens when a company wants to run a website or an app. Traditionally, they would need to go out and buy physical servers, the big computer hardware that stores data and runs applications. They would need to house those servers in a building, pay for electricity to run them, pay IT staff to maintain them, and replace them when they broke or become outdated. That is expensive, it's slow, and if suddenly millions of people try to use your app at once, you don't have enough servers to handle it. So cloud computing solves all of that. Instead of buying your own servers, you rent computing power, storage, and software from a massive data center owned by companies like Amazon or Microsoft or Google, and you access all of it over the internet. You pay only for what you use. You can scale up instantly if you suddenly need more capacity. And if the server breaks, it's Amazon's problem to fix it, not yours. Layer 3, what this means as a career. You see all those cloud services, the servers, the storage, the databases, the security, the networking. None of it runs itself. Companies need skilled people to set it up, configure it, to manage it, secure it, and optimize it. Those people are cloud engineers, cloud architects, cloud security specialists, the DevOps engineers, and cloud consultants. And here is what makes cloud computing a really special as a career choice. Now, the cloud market is growing at roughly 20% per year. Amazon Web Services, which we will talk about in detail, generated over $100 billion in revenue in 2024 alone. Every company from a 2-person startup to a global Fortune 500 corporation is either already in the cloud or actively moving there. The demand for people who can manage this infrastructure is not just growing. It is outpacing the supply of qualified professionals, which means skilled cloud engineers are being actively competed for by employers. That supply-demand gap is the opportunity. What do cloud engineers actually do day to day? Great question, because this is what most videos keep. On a typical day, a cloud engineer might design the architecture for a new application, deciding which cloud services to use and how they connect, set up and configure cloud infrastructure, the virtual machines, the databases, the storage system, networking rules, monitor running systems for performance issues, security threats or unexpected costs, automate repetitive tasks using infrastructure as code tools, so that setting up a new environment takes minutes instead of days. Respond to incidents when something breaks, diagnosing what went wrong and fixing it fast. Collaborate with development teams to help them deploy their applications to the cloud more efficiently. It's a mix of design thinking, problem solving, and technical configuration. More creative than most people expect, less boring than most IT roles are stereotyped as. Okay, now here is the question that confuses almost every beginner who starts researching cloud computing. Which platform do I learn first? Is it AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud? Let me break down all three and then give you my honest recommendation. First, the Amazon Web Services (AWS) is the original cloud platform. Amazon launched it in 2006, over a decade before most people even understood what cloud computing was. And because they have such a head start, they currently have the largest market share of any cloud provider, roughly 32% of the global cloud market. What that means for you practically: more companies run on AWS than any other platform. More job listings ask for AWS skills than any other cloud provider. More learning resources exist for AWS than any other platform, and the AWS certification ecosystem, which we covered in our certification roadmap video, is the most widely recognized in the industry. AWS is the safe, reliable, maximum demand choice for beginners. Microsoft Azure is AWS's biggest competitor, and it's not far behind. Azure holds roughly 20% of the global cloud market. What makes Azure particularly interesting is where it dominates enterprise and government environments. If your target is working for large corporations, government agencies, or companies already deep in the Microsoft ecosystem, Office 365, Windows servers, Active Directory, Azure is extraordinarily relevant. Many large enterprises standardized on Microsoft products decades ago and are now migrating those products to Azure. Azure is the right choice if your target employers are enterprise or government, or if you are already working in a Microsoft-heavy environment. Google Cloud Platform (GCP). Google Cloud has roughly 12% of the market, smaller than AWS and Azure, but growing fast. Where Google Cloud particularly shines is in data engineering, machine learning, and analytics. If your long-term goal is working with big data or AI systems, Google Cloud is genuinely worth knowing. However, for most beginners, GCP is not the recommended starting point. The job demand is lower, the community is smaller, and the certification ecosystem is less established than AWS and Azure. My honest recommendation and the data behind it. So for the majority of beginners in 2026, start with AWS, and here is why. The keyword Cloud Engineer Roadmap gets nearly 50,000 searches per month on YouTube. The most watched beginner content in this space is overwhelmingly AWS focused. The job listings confirm it. AWS is the dominant hiring requirement at entry level. That said, if you know your target employer uses Azure specifically, start there. Don't study a platform your employer doesn't use. And here is a practical truth that most beginners don't realize. Once you understand cloud concepts deeply on one platform, learning the second platform is significantly faster. The fundamentals are the same, it's just different names and different interfaces. Most senior cloud engineers are multi-cloud anyway, so pick one, go deep, and then expand. Now here's the section I genuinely care most about in every video I make, because this is the question that actually matters before you commit months of your life to studying a new path. Is cloud computing right for you? Let me give you both sides. Who thrives in cloud and who might be better served looking elsewhere. Cloud computing is a great fit for you if you enjoy problem solving over memorizing. Cloud engineering is fundamentally about designing systems that work, figuring out how pieces connect, why something broke, and how to make it run cheaper and faster. If you enjoy that kind of thinking, puzzles, troubleshooting, building things that work, cloud is deeply satisfying. You are comfortable with learning continuously. Cloud platforms update constantly, so new services launch regularly. The tools you use this year will be replaced or supplemented by different tools next year. Cloud engineers who thrive are people who genuinely enjoy learning, not as a chore, but as a natural part of how they engage with their work. You want one of the highest paying entry points in IT. Cloud engineering has one of the steepest salary participation ratios in tech. We are going to cover the numbers in the next section, but the short version is the financial return on cloud skills is real and measurable. You want remote work flexibility. Cloud infrastructure is managed entirely over the internet. That means cloud engineers are among the most likely IT professionals to work fully remote because there is no physical hardware to be near. If lifestyle flexibility is a priority, cloud delivers. You are interested in the business side of tech, not just the technical side. Cloud engineers don't just configure the servers, they make decisions about cost, architecture, and strategy. Senior cloud professionals are often deeply involved in business decisions. Decisions like which platform to use, how to manage costs, how to build for scale. If you are interested in where technology meets business strategy, cloud is one of the richest intersections in all of IT. Cloud computing might not be the right step if you want to work with your hands. Cloud is almost entirely software defined. If you love physical hardware, building servers, managing physical networks, and touching actual equipment, IT support or networking might be a more satisfying day-to-day reality for you. You struggle with abstract concepts, Cloud computing involves a lot of invisible infrastructure, virtual machines, virtual networks, distributed systems, data services. If highly abstract, conceptual thinking is genuinely difficult for you right now, consider starting with CompTIA A+ to build a more concrete foundation first. A+ makes cloud concepts significantly more intuitive. You want the fastest possible path to employment. Cloud engineering is genuinely one of the higher paying paths, but it is not the fastest path to your first IT job. IT support and help desk roles can be accessible in 4 to 8 months with a CompTIA A+. Cloud engineering typically takes 10 to 18 months of preparation at minimum. If you need think completely, start with IT support and build towards cloud. You are looking for a one-size-fits-all technical answer. Cloud is a broad field. You will specialize in infrastructure security, DevOps, data engineering, architecture, or something else. That specialization takes time and experience to discover. If you need a more defined, narrow skill set quickly, cybersecurity or networking might give you a clearer early path. The honest answer on fit. Cloud rewards patience, curiosity, and a business-minded approach to technology. If that sounds like you, it is an outstanding career choice in 2026. If you are more hands-on and practical by nature, one of the other paths we have covered in this series will serve you better. Now let's talk about the money. Real numbers, not inflated YouTube figures. What you can actually expect to earn at each stage of a cloud career in 2026. I want to be upfront. Salaries vary significantly based on location, employer, and specific specialization. These are the US market figures. International markets will differ, but the trajectory is what matters here. For entry-level cloud support engineer and junior cloud engineer, the salary range is between $65,000 to $90,000 a year. What you need to get here is the AWS Cloud Practitioner or AZ900 plus some hands-on project experience. Employers will hire at this level without an associate certification. If you can demonstrate practical skills. Your day-to-day at this level is monitoring cloud infrastructure, responding to support tickets, assisting senior engineers with deployment, learning the environment. And the timeline to reach this level is 10 to 16 months of consistent daily study from zero. For the mid-level cloud engineer and cloud administrator, the salary range is between $90,000 to $130,000 a year. What you need is the AWS Solutions Architect Associate or AZ104 plus 1 to 2 years of experience. Your day-to-day at this level is designing and deploying cloud infrastructure, writing automation scripts, managing cost optimization, then mentoring junior engineers. This is where most people spend the early middle of their cloud career, and it's also where the biggest salary jumps happen related to effort invested. For the senior level, that is the senior cloud engineer and cloud architect, the salary range is between $130,000 to $180,000 plus. What you need is multiple associate of professional certifications plus 3 to 5 years of experience plus demonstrated architectural decision making. Your day-to-day is designing multi-cloud or hybrid architecture, leading technical strategy, reviewing and approving other engineers' designs, communicating with business leadership about cloud direction. The honest income reality. Cloud engineering starts higher than almost any other entry-level IT path. The ceiling is among the highest in all of tech, and the curve between entry and senior is steep, meaning consistent learning and experience translate directly into significant income growth year over year. The investment, roughly $500 to $700 in certifications and study materials, against a first-year salary of $65,000 to $90,000 is one of the best return on investment propositions in any career field. Alright, you are in. Cloud is your path. Now let's talk about what the first 90 days actually look like from day one. I'm going to give you a realistic structured plan, not the YouTube type, not the version of YouTube, where everything takes 2 weeks and costs nothing. From days 1 to 30, which is the foundation, before you spend any money on a certification exam, spend 30 days understanding what cloud computing is at a practical level. And here is how. Sign up for the AWS free tier at aws.amazon.com. This gives you access to core AWS services completely free for 12 months. No credit card charges if you stay within the free tier limits. Spend your first week just exploring the AWS console. Click around, look at the services, read what they do. Don't try to memorize everything. Just build familiarity. In weeks 2 and 3, start watching free beginner AWS content. YouTube has excellent free AWS tutorials, particularly Andrew Brown's AWS practitioner course on the Free Code Camp YouTube channel. It's free, it's comprehensive, and it's respected in the community. In week 4, build your very first hands-on project. Launch a simple website on AWS using S3 static website hosting. It takes about 30 minutes to set up, and it will teach you more about cloud concept than 2 hours of reading. Day 31 to 60, AWS Cloud Practitioner Certification Preparation by day 31. You have enough context to start studying for your first certification, which is the AWS Cloud Practitioner. Cloud Practitioner is a conceptual exam. It tests your understanding of what cloud is, what AWS services do, and how pricing and security work at a high level. It does not require hands-on technical skills. It's designed to be accessible. The study resources I recommend is Stephen Marrick's AWS Cloud Practitioner course on Udemy, regularly on sale for $15 to $20 and one of the most highly rated on the platform. The study schedule is 1 hour per day. So people pass Cloud Practitioner in 4 weeks. Most beginners take 6 to 8 weeks of consistent daily study. The target score on practice exam is 80% or above consistently before booking the real thing. The exam cost is around $150 USD. One exam, one sitting. Days 61 to 90, first hands-on project plus associate level prep begins. You pass Cloud Practitioner, now the real work starts. Immediately, begin building a small portfolio of hands-on cloud projects. This is non-negotiable. Certifications open doors, but projects are what convince employers you can actually do the work. Your 3 starter projects. Project 1. Static website on AWS S3. You already built this in month 1, so document it properly with screenshots and the write-up. Add it to a GitHub profile. Project 2. Serverless functions with AWS Lambda. Build a simple function that does something useful, like converting a file, processing a form for submission, or sending an automated email. This teaches you serverless architecture, one of the most in-demand cloud skills. Project 3. Deploy a simple application on AWS EC2. Launch a virtual machine, install a web server, and deploy a simple application. This gives you hands-on experience with the most fundamental AWS compute service. Simultaneously, begin studying for AWS Solution Architect Associate. This is the certification that significantly elevates your employability and salary. It's harder than Cloud Practitioner. Most people take 3 to 4 months to be ready for it. Starting the prep in day 51 means you'll be exam ready around month 5 or 6. So here is the summary of the 90 days, and the cost for the 90 days is $150 exam fee plus $15 to $20 for a Udemy course on sale, which is roughly $170 in total. That is 90 days and $170 to have your first cloud certification and a portfolio that proves that you can build real things. That is your launch pad. Now let's talk about the job hunt, because getting certified is only half the equation. Knowing how to present yourself to employers is the other half that most people completely miss. Here is exactly how I would approach landing my first cloud job. Step 1. Build your cloud portfolio before you apply. I mentioned this in the 90-day plan, but I want to emphasize it again because it is that important. Entry-level cloud roles get dozens, sometimes hundreds of applications. Most applicants have the same certifications. The portfolio is what separates you. The portfolio should live on GitHub. Each project should have a clear description of what you built and why. The architecture, which is what AWS services you use and how they connect. Screenshots or a short video walkthrough, what you learned from building it. 3 solid projects with proper documentation will make you stand out from the majority of applicants who only have certifications and no evidence of practical ability. Step 2. Target the right first roles. Your first cloud job is probably not cloud engineer, no. Here are the most accessible entry points. 1. Cloud support engineer. Companies like AWS themselves hire support engineers who help customers troubleshoot cloud issues. This is one of the best entry points in the industry. You get paid to learn the platform from the inside. Number 2. Junior cloud engineer. Smaller companies and startups often hire junior cloud engineers with Cloud Practitioner plus 1 associate certification plus portfolio project. Number 3. DevOps engineer. Yes, that is the junior DevOps engineer. If you add an even basic knowledge of CI/CD pipelines and infrastructure as code tools like Terraform, this role becomes accessible earlier than most people think. Number 4. Systems administrator with cloud exposure. Many sysadmin roles now involve significant cloud work. If you have CompTIA A+ or Network Plus alongside your cloud certification, this is a very accessible path. Step 3. Your application strategy LinkedIn is your primary platform. Optimize your profile with cloud keywords like AWS, cloud infrastructure, solution architect, DevOps, and Terraform. Recruiters search for this term specifically. Indeed and LinkedIn job listings for cloud roles is filtered by entry level and no experience required. They exist, you just have to look. Direct applications to AWS, Microsoft, Google, and their consulting partners. These companies hire at entry level. They have structured graduate and associate programs specifically designed for people transitioning into cloud and network actively. Join cloud computing communities on LinkedIn, Discord, and Reddit. The Reddit, AWS, and Reddit sysadmin communities are active and hiring tips are shared regularly. Many cloud jobs are filled through referrals, not job boards. Step 4. What to say in the interview. Cloud interviews at the entry level typically test three things. The conceptual understanding, that is, can you explain what S3 is, what EC2 does, and what IAM controls. Your cloud practitioner prep covers this. Situational judgment. Given this scenario, what cloud architecture would you choose and why? Your solutions architect associate prep covers this. Practical demonstration. Can you walk us through a project you have built? Your portfolio covers this. The biggest mistake beginners make in cloud interviews is trying to fake depth they don't have. Be honest about what you know and what you are still learning. Show genuine enthusiasm for the technology and let your portfolio do the talking, because it's physical proof that you can build new things. Now, here is a section that most IT channels skip entirely, and I think it's one of the most important conversations you can have, because getting a job is one part, building a business around cloud skills is another. And for some of you watching this, the business part might actually be better fit for your goals. Let me be honest upfront. You need real demonstrable cloud skills before you can consult. This is not a skip the learning and go freelance strategy. But once you have your AWS Solutions Architect Associate and 2 to 3 strong portfolio go projects, you are genuinely positioned to start offering cloud services to small businesses. Here is why this matters. Most small businesses like shops, restaurants, local service companies are still not properly set up in the cloud. They are running on outdated hardware, paying too much for software, not packing their data properly, and leaving themselves vulnerable to security threats. They need cloud help. They just don't know where to find it. That is where we call in. What services can you offer as a beginner cloud consultant? You can offer cloud migration for small businesses. You can offer services like moving a small business from local servers or outdated software to cloud-based solutions like Google Workspace, Microsoft 365, AWS, or Azure. A complete migration for a small business can earn you $1,500 to $5,000 per project. Cloud backup and disaster recovery setup can also offer services like setting up automated cloud backups for a business so their data is safe even if something goes wrong. This is a relatively simple technical task, but enormously valuable to a business owner. $500 to $2,000 per business plus ongoing monthly maintenance fee. Cloud cost optimization. Many small businesses and startups are already on AWS or Azure, but they are dramatically overpaying because no one has reviewed the configuration. Going in, identifying waste and optimizing their spend can save them thousands of dollars per year. You can charge a percentage of the savings, a genuinely compelling offer. Website and application hosting setup. Setting up a scalable and reliable cloud hosting for your business website or application versus their current shared hosting that goes down under load, $800 to $3,000 per project. Now, how do you get your first consulting clients? Start with your immediate network. Tell every business owner you need, from the family and friends, that you offer cloud consulting services. You don't need a fancy site like a website to get your first client. You need a conversation. Join local business groups like Chamber of Commerce, local entrepreneur networks, LinkedIn, local business communities. Offer a free cloud audit to a couple of businesses in exchange for a testimonial. Use those testimonials to get paying clients. Position yourself as the affordable cloud expert for small businesses, not the entire consultant. Small businesses are chronically underserved in IT consulting. There is a real gap in the market for someone who speaks plain English about cloud and charges fair prices and actually shows up reliably. What is the realistic income from cloud consulting? If you are starting out, 2 to 3 small projects per month at $1,000 to $2,000 each. That is $2,000 to $6,000 per month alongside your day job. Then, with 12 months of experience and a client base, you should be looking at $4,000 to $10,000 per month from consulting. At which point, the question becomes whether you want to scale it into a full business or keep it as high-income supplementary work alongside your employment. The cloud consulting market is genuinely underserved at the small business level. Someone with real skills, honest communication, and reliable service can build a meaningful income around it relatively quickly. So let me bring this all together. Cloud computing is one of the fastest growing, highest paying career paths in all of technology right now. The demand for skilled cloud engineers is genuinely outpacing the supply. Entry-level salaries start between $65,000 to $90,000. The certification path is relatively affordable. Your first year costs less than $200 if you are strategic about it, and the business opportunity for cloud consultants, particularly at the small business level, is wide open. Cloud is right for you if you enjoy problem solving, if you like to learn, like continuous learning, and working at the intersection of technology and business strategy. Cloud might not be your first step if you want the fastest possible path to employment, in which case IT support is still your fastest lane. Here is what I want you to do today. One action right now. Go to aws.amazon.com and sign up for the AWS free tier. It's free and takes up to 10 minutes. And the moment you are inside the AWS console for the first time, looking at all those services, seeing what is possible, something shifts. Cloud goes from being an abstract concept to something you can actually see and touch. Do that today, not tomorrow, but today. Drop a comment below and tell me, are you considering cloud as your path, or are you already studying it? Tell me where you are. I reply to every single comment personally, and I want to hear your story. If this video gave you clarity, hit the like button. It takes 1 second and it helps this video reach more people who need exactly this kind of honest, plain English to break down. Subscribe if you haven't already, because the next video on this channel is going to be just as important. We are doing the same complete breakdown of data analytics, what it actually is, whether it's the right path for you, and how to get started, how to land a job, and how to build a business around data skills. That one is coming very soon. I'm Chykes, and this is Chykes Academy, where we break it all the way down every single week. See you in the next one.